Howdy mates, here's another video I wanted to make for today. So I'm out once again at the Cedar Bog Nature Preserve. I'm only going to stand at this particular spot because it kind of is sprinkling a little bit. And I didn't even think to bring an umbrella. I didn't realize it was going to rain this much, but aside from that, yeah, so we're looking at sedge meadow right here. So that means the entire area, it's basically kind of like a prairie in a way, but a wet prairie, because this whole area is filled by a fen, which is a type of wetland where the water is flowing and it comes from groundwater, and the water maintains a relatively constant temperature of around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And with fens, the water is usually, I think I said this already, water is usually clear as well. Because since the water's moving, and this is also a very alkaline environment too, because a lot of the bedrock here is made from limestone. But aside from that, Cedar Bog, even though it's incorrectly named, a bog, on the other hand, is another type of wetland, but the water is more stagnant, and it's mostly fed by rainwater. And the water is a bit more acidic, too. And it has a known plant called sphagnum moss. So initially this place was wrongfully named, but the name of the place practically stuck. But what's neat about this nature preserve is visualize it this way, all right? You have like a big valley, right? Kind of like the shape of a U in a sense. So the hills, in a way, are end moraines coming from past glaciation from the Wisconsin age, around 16 to 14,000 years ago. But then, Cedar Bog itself, within this valley, Cedar Bog lies in the actual valley itself, within the U, more or less. So think of it this way. Any rainwater or input that comes in, Cedar Bog is essentially the draining area, because in a way, the nature preserve is one big wetland, essentially. And it's a drainage area. So that's why the water here is very rich. I mean, we are essentially standing in one big aquifer right now. That's how this place really exists. But not only that, but essentially, as I was saying about another analogy you can use for the valley is a hose, right? A bent water hose, right? In the shape of a U. Essentially, Cedar Bog is kind of like the leak in the hose, right? So that leak is how the groundwater is able to seep up from underneath, and it gets exposed into the surface. That's a good analogy. I mean, that was an analogy I saw when I was inside of the interpretive center. But with that being said, you know, with an alkaline environment, it makes it fairly difficult for native vegetation to exist out here. Some particular types of wildflowers you might see include the sundew, which is a carnivorous plant. Kind of reminds you of the Venus flytrap. Rest assured, though, it's not the same type. Or you may even see the pink lady's slippers. That's a very unique plant. I mean, you won't be able to see it this time of the year quite yet, I mean, those usually won't start showing up a bit more until it gets into May and June. But the actual flower itself kind of looks like a lady's slipper, you know? And that's how the plant gets its name. But with that being said, and we have our northern white cedar right around us, you know, distinguished by having these leaves that are flat in appearance. Kind of makes it look segmented, right? You know what I mean? So with that being said, with how much diversity is here, this is a very special site in the state of Ohio, as a matter of fact, especially in this part. I mean, this kind of gives like a glimpse into the past when the glaciers were retreating. Because, like, for instance, the northern white cedar that we see here, you would normally see those further up north. You would see those practically going into northern Michigan and even Canada. But for them to exist here is quite a surprise. And due to the cool waters that are here, that allows the northern white cedar to practically survive. But yeah, so we've got our skunk cabbage here. This is what it looks like as it begins to mature a bit. And actually, just a little bit ago, when we were in the swamp hardwood forest, we were having a glimpse of the marsh marigolds. Yeah, here we are. I mean, you're not... Yeah, I don't want to get off this boardwalk, but let me see if I can help you guys notice. Alright. I don't know if I'm able to... Nope, I'm not able to zoom in. Okay. Alright, well, you see that little bit of yellow right there? That is marsh marigold. And those are native to Ohio. Those you want to keep. And surprisingly, those plants often get confused with an invasive plant called the lesser celandine. And I actually have done a video on the lesser celandine when I was out visiting Mad River Gorge a couple of weeks ago. And I've also done a dedicated video to the marsh marigold when I was visiting Clifton Gorge. So yes, I do have separate videos that explains more about the plants in particular. But yeah, Cedar Bog is truly unique as you get to see several habitats in one given area. So sedge meadow, we got ourselves the swamp hardwood forest, which is right here. And then you also have certain sections where you'll see streams too that pass through here. But yeah, and you also have a chance to see the marsh lands as well. So alrighty, thought I would share that with you guys. Hope you learned a little bit of something of Cedar Bog. As I said, I have other separate videos of this same place that I made about a month or so ago. So you guys are more than welcome to look through my page and try to find those if you so desire. So alrighty. Well, you enjoy your Saturday, and Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.